What happens when one player refuses to give up, while the other keeps finding a way to stay in control? This Toronto battle had exactly that kind of tension, and the momentum could change with just one rally. From the opening moments, you could feel the intensity inside the Toronto stadium. Both players came out looking focused, knowing that every early point could become important later. The court was fast, the rallies were aggressive, and neither side wanted to give away cheap points. What followed was a match built around pressure, patience, and the ability to respond when things weren't going your way. Early in the match, the exchanges quickly turned into long baseline battles. One player would attack, the other would defend, and just when it looked like the point was finished, the ball would come back again. That's what made these rallies so interesting. Instead of rushing for the winner, the players were constantly looking for the right opportunity, moving their opponent around the court and waiting for a short ball. And once that opening appeared, the attack came immediately. If you enjoy tennis breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe and keep watching, because the most interesting part of this match is still coming. As the match continued, the pressure became even more obvious. Every serve mattered. Every return had to be precise. And one small mistake could completely change the direction of a game. The rallies also started becoming more physical. You could see both players working hard to control the center of the court, using depth to push their opponent behind the baseline. But the key wasn't simply hitting the hardest shot. It was knowing when to attack. That difference often separates a good point from a winning point. Then came another important stretch. The intensity increased, and the players began taking more chances. Instead of waiting for mistakes, they started creating opportunities themselves. Powerful serves were followed by aggressive returns. Baseline exchanges suddenly turned into attacks toward the open court. And when one player managed to gain even a small advantage, the other immediately tried to take it back. That back and forth is exactly what makes professional tennis so unpredictable. A player can look completely comfortable one moment and suddenly find themselves defending the next. Now the pressure was really on. The crowd was watching every point, and the players knew that the closing stages could determine the entire story of the match. This is where composure becomes just as important as technique. When you're tired, it's easy to rush. It's easy to go for too much. But the player who stays patient can force the opponent into making the mistake first. And that's exactly what we saw as the match moved toward its decisive moments. The final exchanges showed just how competitive this battle had been. Neither player simply handed over the match. There were defensive saves, aggressive attacks, and points where both players refused to back down. But eventually, one side managed to put together the crucial points needed to close things out. And that's the story of this Toronto battle. Not just about who hit the hardest, but who handled the pressure when it mattered most. What was your favorite moment from the match? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more original tennis breakdowns and stories.